Hey, this is Stephen Williams, founder and president of the CreditRepairShop.com, and in today's video, we're going to talk about debt collectors taking uh, uh, extreme actions to collect the debt. And I first want to start the video with what I had saw years ago. I posted this on my blog. This video was from March 17th of 2011. And I came across it then, and I had warned people in the communities that this was happening. This is what happened in Minnesota. So I'm going to play the video, and then we're going to talk about what's going on right now.
People arrested on the street and thrown in jail, all because of unpaid bills. Why is this happening? Thanks for joining us for the Star Tribune Sunday Preview. I'm Glenn Howitt, and this is Chris Sears. Chris, you wrote the story. Tell us why people are being arrested and why the rest of us should be concerned.
People are being arrested in part because creditors are becoming more aggressive about collecting old debts. What's happening is this. People are falling behind on their bills, and when they ignore a court judgment, then a creditor has the right to actually get a warrant issued for your arrest. Now, what this means is that you could be driving to work, you could be at work, or you could be at your house. And then one day, a sheriff's deputy might show up and say he or she has a warrant for your arrest. And that could mean you're brought into jail, and it's essentially over an unpaid debt. A lot of people don't realize this can happen, and that's part of the shock of when it does happen, is they have no idea that when they fail to pay a debt, that it could actually lead to jail time. Now, we spoke to a number of people who've had this experience, some of whom are still quite distraught about the experience. One woman, for instance, was trying to park downtown one afternoon, and she was arrested on the street, all over a $250 card. Now, we caught up with her recently, and here's what she had to say.
Well, I was pulled up to a meter downtown, and I was just opening the door and digging through my purse trying to find quarters, and someone said, "Hey," and I turned around and there was a cop pulled up behind me, and he was like, "Hey," and I was like, "Hey, how's it going?" Real friendly, and he's like, "Can you come here for a second? I wanted to show you something." And I was like, "Sure." So I walked over to his car, and then he opened the back door and sort of, escorted me in the back. And then he turned his computer around, and he's like, "This is what I wanted to show you. You have a warrant." So yeah, he took me to jail, and they processed me, and I had to strip and put on the orange jumpsuit, and they don't even let you keep your own underwear. And then you sit in a little box for forever with like a door here and a door there and a camera, and then they finally move you to the next room and the next room and the next room. And police have way more to do than doing the job of a collector. That should not be part of what they have to do. With everything else going on, and there's so many other things that are more useful. It seems to me they found a way to manipulate the cops into working for them.
Okay, I'm going to stop the video right there. And when she had a picture of the dog, that brought up something that happened to me and my wife years ago. We're talking, oh man, a long time ago. We're talking about in the 1990s. Believe it or not, my wife, one of our dogs had gotten loose, and we had gotten a ticket for that. This is the truth, 100% the truth. My wife was driving to where this is what happened. She got a ticket for the dog getting loose. We did not pay the ticket. That's our fault. What they ended up doing was suspending my wife's license, and she was driving one day without me. She was driving herself to the store, and she got stopped by a police officer, and they actually took her to jail over that ticket. And you might be saying, well, she was driving without a license. Well, okay, she was driving without a license, but they could have just stopped her and then said you can't drive away. Someone has to come pick up the car and pick you up and then give her another ticket. But no, the city used that ticket for like, I think it was $15. And then they put their fees and it was like $45. They actually arrested my wife and took her to jail, and I had to bail her out of jail, and we paid the ticket. So these were some tactics that a lot of the cities were using, because the police and the city work together. But it's always been available for debt collectors to use this tactic, but a lot of debt collectors had kind of not wanted to cross that line. Well, what we're starting to see, and it was happening back then, 2008, 2011, back in that time, it was mainly being used in just a few states. I had seen it used in Minnesota. I had seen it used in Michigan, and it was being used in some of the southern states that allowed debt collectors to really, when they came into court, the judges would kind of, and I'm not going to speak for any judge, but a lot of the judges did not like for them to take that tactic. But if they push, they have a legal right to do it. And debt collectors know what judges will not frown upon it, because even if they frown upon it, they're going to allow it to happen. But they're going to, a lot of debt collectors just don't like taking that route. Well, now let's look at now. Let's move to the future. This happened not too long ago, and what brought my awareness to it was my wife. Last night when we were going to bed, she said, "Oh, I know you make your videos, and I saw this news story on TV where a guy was arrested because of a medical bill. That that they're arresting people over medical bills." Well, did a little research, and I found one of the stories. There's thousands of stories which I'll go over in this article, but look at this here. Welcome to Coffeyville, Kansas, where the judge has no law degree. Debt collectors get a cut of the bail, and Americans are watching their lives and liberty disappear in the pursuit of medical debt collections. And basically what the story goes through is that it talks about how this city is allowing people, has a hospital that is collecting on debts that's owed to them, which, they have a right to do that, but they're taking advantage of the loopholes in the law to have people arrested. They're summoned to court, had them arrested for not showing up to court. Now, that's the key word. How does this work? How are they able to even have an arrest warrant placed for you? And it basically comes down to this. If you do not answer to the debt, answering to the debt is not how you're going to pay the debt. It's just showing up to tell them that, okay, yes, I'm responsible for this debt, and to give them an answer on what you're planning on doing about it. Part of that could be, I don't have the money and I cannot pay it right now. But the thing is that you have to show up and state that fact. You can't just not show up and not and think that things like this can't happen. Now let's look at this. In this story here, it says, before the morning hearing, he listened as defendants traded stories. One woman recalled how at 4 months pregnant, she had reported a money order scam to her local sheriff's office, only to discover that she had a warrant. She was arrested on the spot, and what it was a radiologist had sued her over a $230 bill that she missed one hearing too many. You see that keyword? And the amount. Like, you might be thinking, well, they're doing this over thousands of dollars in medical bills. No, we got a radiologist, $230 bill, and she had missed one too many hearings. Missed one too many hearings. Remember that keyword? I had just stated it. Debt collectors, what they will do If you do not show up to the hearings, they will request that a warrant for your arrest be placed. This is exactly how they do it. And I'm going to talk about the solution to it. I'm going to talk about the solution right now because the way to get out of this is to show up and answer to the debt. I need everyone to do me a favor real quick. Please like this video because we need this video to really get out there to people. This is a very important video because it's going to save people from being arrested. Also, hit the notification button so when I make new videos like this one and others that pertain to credit, debt, and debt collections, you will be notified because this is a very important video. We want to get as many people out there to understand what is happening when it comes to debt collections. Okay, now let's move on. I wanted to go down right here. This is the family. This is the guy that was arrested. Now look at this. Across the country, thousands of people are jailed each year for failing to appear in court for unpaid bills. Key word, unpaid bills. It is not just for medical debt. Look at this right here. Judges have issued warrants. I'm going to highlight it here. Judges have issued warrants for people who owed money to landlords, payday lenders, who have never paid off furniture or daycare fees or student loans. There was a cop in Houston, Texas that was actually arrested for a federal student loan that he had missed payments on. And when they looked at it, he had actually paid off the student loan, but they had made a mistake and didn't close out his student loan account. But they had a warrant for his arrest, and when he was stopped, he was arrested over that student loan. Now, some debt collectors have issued arrest warrants for as little as $28. Look at that. For as little as $28. Can you believe that? For as little as $28. So this is number one, this is very scary because these are things that they should not be able to do. But I'm going to take the fear out of it because I'm telling you what you have to do to protect yourself from something like this happening. Now, the first thing that you got to do is you have to show up to court. You have to keep the communication open. There's several ways that you can do that, or let's talk about the first way. The first way is to answer any letters or correspondence that is sent to you. And please do me a favor. Please like the video if you haven't liked it. Please like this video if you haven't liked it, because we got to get this help to more people, and you're included in helping me be able to help more people. So you have to keep the communications open. When you get the first letter where they're requesting that you pay a debt, you need to open up the communications with a validation. If you do the validation, automatically they cannot go to this level. Now, if they do a court summons, you still need to answer that court summons. That's why these are like little traps that they put people in. First, they send out the letter saying that you owe this debt. If you read in the paragraphs, they always have a paragraph that says, if you want to dispute this debt for any reason, the amount, whatever, it's not yours, you have 30 days to do it. That's step number one. But also what you're doing is you're opening up the communication, which stops them from moving forward. The problem is that a lot of people don't, understand that it's more than just disputing the debt or validating the debt. It's also protecting you from other things that they can do, such as this, by saying that you're not answering to the debt, so they want to put you into contempt. This is contempt. Broad powers of contempt. And this is what they do. So they can't say that you're in contempt. I'm sorry about that. If you have a line of communications open. if you show proof that you have a line of communications open, they cannot take certain steps. Yes, they can continue trying to collect, but they cannot say that you're in contempt of trying to communicate with the debt collector. So first step, they're going to send that letter. You have 30 days to respond. Regardless of which way you respond, if and you can watch my videos on what you should do first when you get that 30-day letter. But you need to respond. The next thing is, if they take you to court and they get a court summons, you need to show up. And if you follow my videos on what I tell you to do, from when you get the first 30-day letter, you'll be prepared when you go into court. You'll also be prepared on writing your answers to the court summons. And again, it stops them from saying that you're in contempt of court. Because this is what's happening. This is exactly what is happening to people. They're being put in jail. I mean, let's just say it how it is. They're being put in jail because they could not pay a debt. And we see right here, for as little as $28. For as little as $28. This is just, unbelievable. So, I want to end the video here. If you need help with your credit, if you need help simply answering a debt collector, contact me or post a comment, and I'll tell you what to say to them. Of course, I cannot give you legal advice, but the information that I'm going to give you is exactly what I would do if I was in your situation. And at one time, I was in that situation. So I know exactly the real deal on this. And I've been able to help thousands of clients with this and thousands of YouTubers with the information that I'm providing to you. Please post your comments. Please like this video. I really appreciate it when you like them. It helps us. It helps us all as our community. We're all in this community, the Credit Repair Shop. You're a part of this community, and when you like the videos, it gets it out to more people that are in the same situation that we've all been in, and it gets the information to them so they can become aware of it. Please visit my website, thecreditrepairshop.com. Nothing happens overnight. It is a process with anything that you do in life. If you need your credit reports and scores, I tell you this over and over in all of my videos. Everything starts with your credit reports, because then you'll know exactly what the situation is when it comes to a debt that a debt collector is trying to collect from you, because in some cases, they're trying to collect the debt that is not legally able to be collected. So go to the website. The link is below. The number 3scores.com. Again, please like the video. Please subscribe to my channel. Please share it with your friends and family. And please hit the notification button so you can be aware of the next video that I'm going to be putting out. Thank you. This is Stephen Williams, founder and president of thecreditrepairshop.com. Thank you.